Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the Southern New Hampshire University Overwatch gameplay that we will be seeing today. I am Fawn the Legend, joined here once again by Shane, my good man, on my left-hand side in real life, but my right-hand side on my camera. How you doing today, Shane?
I am doing great. I'm excited to see another series here finish up, getting to the grand finals here in Overwatch. We had a great match last night in Valorant, and I'm hoping get to see another great match tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited to see it. It has been a while since I've casted some Overwatch, but overall, I definitely am interested to see the high level of play it is to watch this game because of the fact that I've always been super interested in being able to do a lot with Overwatch. Always been really interested. Super happy to be a part of this once again. I'll be even more happy once the games actually start and we can actually get into the nitty gritty of it. But regardless of that being the case, things are going pretty well here, I would say. I'm really interesting. So, Shane, once again, you're my analyst, my co-host. Tell me a little bit about what you foresee happening today in the matches.
So, up against NYT here, I know this is a game, we played against this team before, but we played them essentially at the start of the semester, start of the season. It's been so long since these two teams have fought that I really can't say how this is going to exactly turn out with how much both of these teams have changed over the course of the semester here. It'll be a best-of-5 set, so definitely could see this one go down right to the wire because I'm pretty sure that the exact same thing happened last time. Very close matches here, so hopefully, we could go all the way to the end here, 5 games.
Yeah. I'm absolutely excited to see what has been going on today, as well as the fact that, Overwatch, once again, may not be getting the major updates it is that we typically see a lot of these other games getting, but they do have some balance changes and things of the sort. Where do you feel like the meta has sort of shaped and driven itself to now? I'm very, very interested to actually see and witness what is going on here in terms of the Overwatch meta. Where do you foresee, the picks? Who will you see shining through today? Is there a character it is that you imagine that both teams have to have? Is it going to be an imperative for some of the teams to draft certain characters? What's going on there? What's going on in your mind?
Well, right now I feel like the meta is in a pretty decent spot. You can generally find pretty different team compositions based on the map, and I feel like there's a good variety of what comps are good on each maps. But that being said, we have seen more than enough of dive comps here on stream, seen the Diva, Winston comps, and a double bubble as well with the Winston Zarya have both been super great compositions, and the more orthodox kind of standard Reinhardt Brawl composition is really only good on a few maps like King's Row. So that's fallen out of favor a little bit more of just these very aggressive, just deathmatchy sort of compositions that are a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I'll be really interested to see a lot of those drafts as well. I mean, once again, this is something that, just to mention for those of you that are just catching up with things like that, Overwatch is a game, as we all know, has been out for quite some time, really receiving, updates on the occasion, really mostly balanced patches and changes to characters that you'll typically see really rule the play style of how this game has been going so far. So once again, I'm very, very interested to see how the game will actually play out. It'll be interesting because you mentioned the possibility of dive compositions. What do you feel like is the more commonplace, the more commonplace draft that people will go for? Is it fight fire with fire, or do you typically see something else in the mix here?
In terms of dive compositions, I mean, in our first map here will be Lijiang, so King of the Hill. You're typically going to see both teams running a very similar composition there, just looking to get in there as fast as possible and just really sit there and trade back and forth until someone comes out on top. So you're definitely going to see, those very fast compositions that, the Winstons that are boosted by Lucios, that are going through Symmetra teleporters, that are just getting on top of you instantly. While at the same time, you'll have a lot of the DPS players playing sort of back from a range. I know that here on our team here at SNHU, Pepto is currently, there's a lot of people. The Pepto squad is in the arena, and he is he's pretty nasty on the Pharah. So anytime he's going to be able to bust that out, generally you won't see the other team also bring out the Pharah. So that's kind of maybe a little bit of an advantage that we have, having somewhat of a comfort pick there, and something that's maybe a little bit unexpected going into some of these compositions.
And that's something it is that I would keep in mind as well. Lijiang Tower, one of those maps that seems to have more of an open mid, highly contested. You have that, and you have the size it is that most people will be playing on. It'll be interesting to actually see how this sort of shapes up. Because once again, I absolutely agree with you. Be seeing most of the backline DPS really just sort of taking a more fallback position. There's a lot of angles that you could be peeked from if they were trying to push on it. I don't think they'll ever do that unless they have like a solid and more a more momentum based sort of team that they'll have, right? Like assuming that they actually win the mid, assuming that they actually push on, whether whichever draft it might be, it'll be a lot more comfortable being able to take over that mid. And then obviously we play like the spawn war, right? Like we're playing sort of more towards their base, making sure they're zoned out effectively, and that's something it is that I would imagine here. And Lijiang as well. Farah actually being drafted on this map is actually something super interesting to me. Can you tell me a little bit more about that pick and why you feel like she fits more so on this map than some of the others?
Yeah, at the moment, right now, a lot of backline sort of hit scan DPS are a little bit
Mhm.
weaker, and especially with a lot of damage fall off changes that have been, they've been in the game for quite a bit. Farah really
Mhm.
has the opportunity in some of these larger maps where she can just has a huge field to work with and get aerial superiority. Is
Mhm.
really able to do some damage while you know not being at too much risk unless the enemy team actually decides to commit a counter pick to it. And you
Mhm.
might see sometimes Devo, being a very popular character,
Mhm.
can try and go on the hunt down for that Pharah, but if you position your team right and you play in a good formation, then
Mhm.
you're going to be able to surround the Diva and catch them out trying to do that. So it's definitely a very skillful interaction there in terms of how you try and fight the Pharah, and
Mhm.
how the Pharah is dealing with you, because there's not a ton of like counter picking into that unless you really want to just kind of become vulnerable to them switching as well. We've seen a few times the enemy team will pick like a Widowmaker trying to take down the
Mhm.
Pharah,
Mhm.
and then we'll just switch our backline DPS into something else like a Tracer or something like that that's able to
Mhm.
really just dive the backline and just never get hit.
Mhm.
Um, and what's really interesting, I think, is that in especially with King of the Hill, because you have the three maps, and every
Mhm.
map is going to have slightly different team comps that are good and heroes that work really well.
Mhm.
So you can see, in a set, three different team compositions that work great. So we'll definitely see a lot of flexibility from both teams here. I think whichever team is able to be more flexible is going to end up having a
Mhm.
huge advantage here going into this game one here, and the rest of the set after that, I believe, will just be losers' picks. So kind of setting up there for that.
Yeah, I'll be really excited to see the game once we actually come into it. But for right now, we're going to throw to a quick break, and we'll be right back with some Overwatch action. Welcome back, everyone. Here we are, the first match of the day for Overwatch. Southern New Hampshire University versus the New York Institute of Technology. I am Quan the Legend, joined here by my man Shane once again. Hey man, how are you doing? Once again, like a little bit of a break, but we're here, we're in the match, and we're ready to go.
I am still just as ready and as excited as I was when we started here. This is going to be definitely a great match coming out here from both of these teams. I mean, we've seen Lijiang played so many times over this semester. It's generally been, the first map that goes on in this league. So just seeing kind of how teams have practiced it and gotten better at it has been super fun to watch. So this is going to be kind of the culmination of all of that, of this season, kind of playing this map.
You have mentioned it before. You felt like the Farah pick was something that we'd often see, but the drafts look totally different, right? How are you feeling about both of these teams right now?
The Echo, I feel like, is just as good. It may be even better, especially on this map here. Getting Echo and being able to duplicate the enemy Reinhardt is super good for these very close quarter. Whenever you're playing Brawl, I feel like Echo might be a slightly better pick than Farah, just because of being able to duplicate Reinhardt and get that second Earth Shatter.
Well, the Symmetra teleporter immediately onto site. But no point percentage gain yet. The control point hasn't even unlocked. Now that they are here, they have to find some sort of way, make their way back onto the objective. They are slowly biding their time. Kresnik has managed to get one, but he will find the second there. Roaring managed to get killed as well. The Immortal Field down as the bubble goes out from Zarya, trying to keep her teammates alive. Everyone's trying to stabilize here, but the team fight is slowly pushing towards the way of Southern New Hampshire. They are going to be able to find two. They lost one in the mix, but it doesn't even matter. They were always ready for the smoke. That's going to be a full-on point clear as Reinhardt makes his way back onto the objective. May is the last one standing, uses the ice block to try and keep herself alive for a little bit longer, but only a little bit. That's the point to make there, as they are going to be able to capture this next objective.
That was a great take from Southern New Hampshire University, and we saw their New York Institute was staggering a lot pretty hard. Roaring Iron going in there actually died pretty late after the rest of his team. Died twice in that fight, and he kind of trickled in, which was able to give Snoo a little bit more time to just start building percentage up. And a window is going to go down here. The Earth Shatter does get blocked from Rhino, but there's a second one ready for Pepto.
Already is still in a good spot as well. Pops the ultimate, and they're actually tearing through the enemy competition. They drop the ultimates one after the next, but Kresnik is still in a good enough spot. Has to find some sort of way to retreat here. Might end up dying, trying to put the movement, the shoes on him, but it's not going to be enough. Instead, he's going to go down, trying to see if they can stall out for the objective for as long as they possibly can. Rhino is the next one that falls, but he managed to poof off the enemy Lucio in the meantime. Seems like Dargo makes his way onto the objective just to stall things out for a little bit. They have to try and see if they can stall for a little bit longer. Lucio makes his way back on into the objective. Pepto manages to get two, and he's going to fly his way right on out, or maybe into a little bit of the Reaper clip. Got to deal with the shotguns here. Reinhardt trying to stall for as long as he can. What a great stall, honestly. They did a great job of making sure they staggered that out. 56% to 35. They're just now gaining percentage on the side of New York.
I had a moment there where my eyes were just wide open when I saw the screen cut to that Reaper there, but he got so much value off of that. That was completely worth it. And, having it to be able to kind of try and tank bust this might not be a terrible thing when you already have control of the point.
Yeah, they still have playing percentage on the objective here. It will be tied up in the next few seconds. So the nano boost comes through. No ultimate available for Reinhardt, but that may not matter. They just want to be able to take this over. Manages to pin one, knocks him out of the Immortal Field. He has the shatter. He's got to be careful, and he gets himself three. That's going to be a setup for the next fight and the next objective. There's only one remaining on the point, but he smacks him all the way to the spawn room. That's going to be 56% to 73. Southern New Hampshire doing a great job at controlling this objective.
The moment that Roaring Iron went down, Rhino was just swatting flies out there. He's holding left click, eyes closed, cleaning up. That was a beautiful play there and a great Earth Shatter.
Yeah, right now, let's see if they're trying to see if they can play the retake here on the right-hand side. They have the comms. They know that they're there. Reinhardt playing around the corner knows that they're going to be coming from that way. They have the Diva ultimate available. Hops right back on into the mech. The sound barrier to try and see if they can counter out the aimbot from Soldier. Not going to find much there, but instead it's going to force them off of the objective. They have to try and play retake here. Deadeye manages to come through the high noon is finding its mark. Manages to get one, but Pepto found another. Pepto finds two, and they're going to be able to get Prince for the most part. Seems like Reaper's still going to try and see if he can hold on for a little bit longer. But for right now, 81% to 95. Rhino has to stay close if they want to try and see if they can touch again.
Yeah, there's a Death Blossom ready for NYT. It could be a little scary if SNHU are caught off guard here. They don't know where he is. It could drop in and spell doom, but the time is getting close here.
Man, it seems like they managed to also get Rhino as well. Gets stuck, but Reincarnated finds himself a few. The Death Blossom comes out, and D.Va may be able to block it, but not for much longer. She gets knocked out of her mech. This is looking like a round done for Southern New Hampshire University. Seems like Pepto is able to stall for a little bit longer, stays on the objective. They won't be able to find many more targets there. The Shatter comes through, but he won't be able to get it. Tries to use the ultimate at the last second and see if he can make something work. Not going to be there. 95% to 100 is how we end this first round.
That was some crazy adaptation to their team comp there, busting out the Reaper and getting so much value off of that. Really, really unexpected to see here. And now looking at SNHU's comp changing up for the second map here, not surprised to see the Wrecking Ball. Rhino is a very big Wrecking Ball player, and this hero right now is just so good in these compositions, or in these maps where you know, just a pillar right in the middle of the site, and you can just go in circles around, over and over, and really just be an unkillable nuisance for as long as possible.
The draft has been shifted a little bit. They are opting to go with the Pharah this time, as we have mentioned before. We do see the ball, the Wrecking Ball, playing a sort of pivotal role here. He's already, seems like he's positioning himself in the back line, firing the rockets here. Pharah also finding huge chunks of damage already, manages to get rid of Mango. They're sweeping right on through. That's going to be huge spread out damage. Destroying the teleporter, no way out from here, as he's going to continuously be damage boosted. Immortal Field gone, Sentry Turret gone. The rest of the team looks like it's going to be gone. They can't handle much more, and that's going to be a full-on team wipe in the first few seconds of the game.
And that's like a class study example, exactly why Brawl Comp is just kind of struggling on some of these maps when you have these super dive-heavy heroes that are able to just knock everyone out from behind the shield, and all this forced movement is so powerful at countering Reinhardt and the kind of formation that you need to play in.
It seems like right now, Wrecking Ball is still playing in a good enough spot, seeing how they're going to try and play retake here of the objective. Pharah finding some damage. A soldier makes his way out, seeing if he can put a stop to the Pharah for right now, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. He actually still manages to live. He has the ultimate. They have to be careful. He finds so much damage spread out, and Pepto finds himself not only the Immortal Field, but he finds himself the soldier as well. So much damage spread out. They can't really contest. Kresnik moves in, melees Batiste, and he has to find some sort of way out next. He may get killed by the flashbang, but Pepto is here. He spies on in and swoops in like Superman, manages to get the couple kills that they need to try and see if they can stall this out. 2-on-2 for right now. Zarya and Soldier managing to make their way onto the site. Not going to be enough for them to hold on. Instead, Southern New Hampshire does end up sweeping them completely off of the objective. They had 2 members remaining, but now they have none. 60% to nothing.
I cannot believe my eyes. Pepto actually lived through that in the Pharah, going so deep in there, so low, and just fighting the entire team. His team able to keep him alive. You know, those risky plays are just allowed if you can get away with it.
Kresnik tries to move it. He wants to use his ultimate, and he does. He gets rid of the Immortal Field, at least for the most part. Shield gets cracked on the Reinhardt. Can't keep themselves alive much more. The Minefield makes it hard for them to try and see if they can push in. They have the D.Va Bomb as well, saving it for a potential retake on the side of NYT. Seems like for the most part, they all still stalling things out. They use the Batiste Matrix to see if they can try to see if they can do anything. Puts out the D.Va Bombs, tries to see if they can catch anything, but they don't. They have to be careful of Pharah. Pepto in another good spot. They have to be careful. You got to keep your eyes on the skies, fam. That's exactly what happens when you don't. Slept and put to bed is the Reinhardt. The next one will be the Soldier. They will deal with the Mercy on the objective. That's the last one, but they can't hit the shot. They do actually manage to res the Reinhardt for the time being, and D.Va is able to at least make her way back onto the objective, but gets popped out. The Immortal Field is there. They were able to stall things out. A great play from the Mercy on the opposite team here, swapping different characters, seeing if they can stall things out for a little bit longer. They are at least able to keep the contest on, but for not much longer. 1-1 is how we end the second round.
A just completely dominant round for SNHU. Once they got in there and once they took the lead, NYT struggled to get back in, and SNHU pushed their lead all the way home. Going here into the map 3, like, NYT are really going to need to change things up there. I think sticking with Reinhardt in that composition they had for as long as they did was really rough here. So now they're going to need to make, another blind call into what SNHU's team comp is. And look, SNHU on completely different heroes for a good majority of them, picking up, the Sigma, and this is a very adaptive team here. So we'll see if NYT picking up Reinhardt once again, if they can adapt just as well.
South Metro teleporter are going to find their way in, trying to see if they can maneuver their way onto the objective. I believe they will be the first ones here. It seems like they won't be able to make it in time, or no, they won't be. They do actually manage on the side of NYT to make their way onto the objective, but for right now, Farah tries to see if they can push in a great knock from the Wrecking Ball, sets up for a double kill for Pepto. He finds 2 more. What more will he get? That's 3. He can't get the 4th, but that doesn't even matter. Too low. Can't even contest on the objective. Can't find their way back onto site, and instead they're going to keep on running right through. He is going to get killed there, but a beautiful setup from Rhino for Pepto to be able to take advantage of.
I really love that start that SNHU do, where they take the coast off to the side. Most teams play for the top of those stairs. Rhino, look at this. He's just able to sit there in the middle. He doesn't go down as soon as he gets stunned, but that's why that hero is so good right now. If you can't lock him down, he is just invincible in there.
Seems like right now 14% to 3. They can play this passively. Gets rid of the Immortal Field and the Reaper at the same time. Puts out the shield and finds their way in. Reinhardt, the rest of the team has to back up. They've already lost 3. They have the Rocket Barrage ready for Farah, but it's not going to be used quite yet. Instead, they'll just stick to the good old regular rockets. They know Anna's in the back. They have to see if they can deal with her. She has to push out so far just to make sure they can contest. She gave up her life to see how much longer they can contest on the objective for, but instead, they are going to be able to recapture here. Southern New Hampshire University is going to be in control of the site now.
And they've got ultimates to spare right here. They've got Rhino about to pick up the minefield, and they've got 3 ultimates to work with: the barrage, the nano boost, and the aimbot here for Krez. Could potentially wipe up a team fight if NYT aren't able to get their ults up fast enough.
Kresnik set up in a good enough spot. See if he can play up on high ground, gets nano boosted, tries to pop the rocket barrage, not going to find much, but they get rid of the immortal field. Kresnik still has his ultimate available and ready to him, playing all the way to the sky. Pepto is, as he's trying to see if he can wait. They managed to get the diva out of the mech, but Kresnik is still here. He found another one. He can pop his ultimate here if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to. Instead, he'll stick to some good old-fashioned aim sense. He's going to tear through the rest of the team on NYT. He manages to find 3 and sets themselves up for a beautiful knockup from Rhino, once again moving in the back line. Rhino and Pepto, the 2 teammates that have been really tearing through NYT, have really been showing out right now.
NYT are going to try and go high and try and fight Kresnik up here. Not going to let him get away with too much, but he's got 2 healers on him to help him out, but there's a lot of players in that tiny room.
Seems like right now they are going to have to find some sort of way to back out. Kresnik make his way over to the right-hand side. Pepto does get brought down to size thanks to the Soldier Ultimate. They get rid of 2 on the side of Southern New Hampshire University, but Reinhardt's shield is still ready and waiting. Sigma goes out, drops him right back on down, less than half HP, and the shield is breaking. The Death Blossom into the immediate interrupt from Dargo to stop the Reaper Ultimate. Defense Matrix pushing up, trying to see if they can stall things out for a little bit longer, but for right now, the health pools are not looking good on the side of NYT. They're trying to see if they can at least contest and get as much percentage before they pass on. Rocket Barrage once again from Pepto finds 1, but they are able to get the Ana in the back line. Pepto finds 2. They're killing things consistently. They find a 3rd. That's a 4th for Pepto. How much more will he be able to get, forcing the Soldier out in the back line, trying to see if he can stall on the objective. The Diva Bomb goes out, see if they can contest. For the time being, overtime is a factor. Diva not going to be alive for much longer. Defense Matrix, the whole 9 yards. She is getting popped out of her ultimate, but at the same time, Kresnik is at least able to take care of the Reaper. How much more time do they have afforded to them? In the back line, he is anti. That's going to take care of Roaring Iron. The rock comes out. The earth bending isn't enough. Instead, it flies right on past. The minefield gets dropped, and so does the first game for Southern New Hampshire University.
A completely dominant performance from SNHU there. I'm telling you, man, this team has so much synergy together. We see, this is going to be the big earth shatter from that first map there. Rhino, look at this. This is That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that was you could definitely see it happening. The minute that roaring iron went down, I was like, oh man, here it comes. It's a perfect setup and a great first game to end on Southern New Hampshire University's win. NYIT are at least able to make things work for them as best as they can that round, as best as they can that game. But for the most part, I wouldn't really be too concerned about how the rest of the game will go. It seems like Southern New Hampshire University, they had a plan. Things had went a little bit, things that went a little bit south the very, very first round, the very, very first time that we had actually saw them go up against NYIT. But once again, Southern New Hampshire University are going to be the ones that take this very first game for those of you that are just now tuning in.
Yeah, that was again a super great match, and they took a round to get
Off of the backs of an energetic game one, we are now here on Kings Row. Fawn the Legend here, joined again by my good buddy and co-host Shane here. We are heading into the second game for Southern New Hampshire University versus the New York Institute of Technology. Shane, any first thoughts after that first game?
After that first game, I think I want to see a little bit more of a diverse team composition from NYT. We saw them play a lot of the same heroes that I feel like didn't really work on some of those rounds against SNHU. We saw a lot of the Reaper, we saw a lot of the Reinhardt, when SNHU are really just able to play around that and take advantage of maybe playing heroes that don't quite gel quite well with the map or against the other team composition there. And so definitely I want to see something a little bit different here. But already, speaking of a little different, NYT not running a straight-up brawl composition. That's pretty standard for Kings Row, is to just run the Reinhardt and just kind of brawl around that statue, brawl around that gate. NYT are not going to do it. They're going to go for something a little bit different here as they try and take this fight. We'll see how well it does for them.
We will have to see as well as the match is beginning at this moment. The E from Reinhardt comes out. The E from Reinhardt comes out immediately. Not going to really find this opportunity to hit anyone, but they are going to start forcing them into the choke. They're slowly finding their way off of the objective, off of the site. They're slowly pushing them back. The Farah is really doing a number on the shields, on the damage. Palsy is the first one that falls. Immortal Field keeps themselves alive, but the flashbang from Kresnik manages to stun a multitude of different people. They have to find their way off without dying too hard. They definitely don't want to get staggered in a situation like this. This site is extremely difficult to try and play retake on. You have to be careful with how you move forward. Fragnar is the next one that falls soon after that, and they will be capturing this first objective for NYT.
NYT, I mean, holding on at the contest just for the last second here as they clean up. That was a blindingly fast take onto that first point there. NYT, something woke up now, and they want to hit back after SNHU hit them after that first match, and now they're in a pretty good position here, already playing forward. The rest of SNHU, spawning way back, have to run all the way up. They're going to give a lot of ground to NYT's cart.
Right now, it seems like they're at least trying to see if they can put on a sufficient enough hold right at this current point in time. The heals are going out. Once again, everyone getting into their positions where they need to be as the cart is rolling for NYT right now. Shield popping it up and then dropping it back down, trying to see if they can slowly move their way forward. Palsy manages to find a kill onto Roaring Iron, but Kresnik, Palsy, both of them go down. They have the Baptiste ultimate to try and play behind, but it's not going to go too well. They do manage to get the Baptiste. They've used out the Sonar Dart as well. Sonic arrows flying through, but not going to find any kill here. The Baptiste is the only one that has lost in that fray, while Southern New Hampshire University have lost a multitude.
NYT are just taking a commanding lead early on here. I think I'm starting to see why they were so attached to that Reinhardt pick now. It seems to be working out for them really well.
Right now, it seems like as it's cresting towards the second checkpoint here, the shield is going up and dropping back down. Pepto does manage to get killed for the time being. It seems like Palsy also falls down soon after that. Immortal Field is out, but gets broken almost as soon as it got dropped, and so will Dargo. He flies out of his mech into the waiting arms of a Farah rocket. They are going to be able to push this point to the second checkpoint as they set themselves up for the final push of this match.
This is going to be rough. NYT have 5.5 minutes to take this cart to the end here. SNHU have to hold down the fort, but I mean, look at their ultimates. They're not close to having too much other than a Diva Bomb and a sound barrier. Meanwhile, NYT are pretty much full house at the moment.
Baptiste was dropped, and the cart hasn't even rounded the corner yet. It will be a harsh reality when they only have one healer to try and take advantage of this already very dire situation for Southern New Hampshire University right now. The cart is still moving forward. They have their ultimates. Pepto manages to find one. Palsy finds the second. While Kresnik may have died, the rest of his team are at least able to make things uneven for NYT. Trying to push in off of the back of the sound barrier. They are retreating. Mango falls off the side, but that is to make sure he doesn't get staggered out by the enemy team of Southern New Hampshire University, putting up the Matrix and the Reinhardt shield. They don't want to push too far. Instead, they're going to decide to retreat and see if they can play a defensive angle.
They're coming back in real fast, though, and going in quick as Fiso keeping his team alive with the Immortality Field. Palsy, maybe looking for a second to use this there, and he's able to get it.
Nice. Gets the ultimate and manages to land down. Multiple people stuns him, but it doesn't matter. Seems like 3 have already fallen on the side of Southern New Hampshire University. The point is contested, and that is going to be the cart still rolling forward. They will be able to spawn and find their way back on into the objective here. And it seems like things are becoming more dire. They are blocking things on the left-hand side. Tracer is at least able to touch. The rocket barrage comes through and manages to spread out a multitude of damage onto the opposing side. Southern New Hampshire not looking too great with how this has been going. Pepto manages to find one, though. Dargo finds the Immortal Field. Pepto finds 2. That will be enough for them to hold on for the time being. Dargo has to contest for as long as he possibly can. Sigma is extremely low, but they can still contest. He's still alive without side of the mech. They managed to get the stun, but Wrecking Ball is here. He stalled for just long enough for them to make it back. Now Pepto is back on the field to see if what he can do. Roaring Iron gets taken out. Palsy stalled for long enough for the rest of his team to come through. Now they can contest once again. Will Farah go down? The Earthbending hits Pepto in the face. He gets stunned. Immortality Field done, and they are forcing them back off of the objective.
This is bloody. SNHU are clawing their way back into this cart and contesting for as long as they can, and it's working. They're pushing NYT off, but they're slowly getting whittled down right now as the ultimates come out.
Lucio will manage to find his opportunity back onto the objective, but the rocket barrage stops Kresnik in his tracks. But the ultimate, they do find a multitude of people. But Pepto, Fragnar managed to bloop off one. Pepto gets the other. They both died. Diva comes in. They're funneling in one after the other. They have not committed to anything yet. He does get knocked out of his mech. They are trying to see if they can stall for as much as they possibly can. They do manage to make it back on for a time being, but it doesn't matter. Palsy is gonna fall. What an amazing last hold from Southern New Hampshire University. They still have another round in the bank to see if they can tie things up.
They weren't giving that last point up without a fight there. I love the contest play there. Looking at Dargo getting on the cart, just holding down the defense matrix and thrashing his mouse around. He was fighting for his life out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm actually curious to know, obviously to know your opinion on this as well. I feel like the Farah got a lot of mileage, and maybe was mileage for too long. I feel like the damage it was they were able to spread out made it a lot harder for Reinhardt to try and see if he could contest, because as you saw around the first objective when they had to capture it, Reinhardt swinging his hammer around the corner, obviously trying to see if he can stall out. The minute that somebody comes around the corner, he's ready to fight. But at the end of the day, Farah spread out a lot of damage there. Do you feel like the soldier pick would have been a lot better if it would have happened earlier, if they had swapped maybe? What do you think the mindset was as to hold on to the draft they had for so long before they started to shift things towards the end there?
I mean, when you go down that fast, and they were still trying to hold on to the same composition going into the second point there. I think maybe they were a little bit afraid of losing their ultimates and having to hold the last point when you're completely dry on ultimates and the other teams and pretty much building them up the entire time. That can be a little bit rough to play into there. I think it was honestly though, I feel like NYT just played so fast that it was honestly hard to adapt quick enough.
Right now, next round starts and Reinhardt is already on his way onto the objective. Palsy just sort of stalling, waiting for their time to strike. Fragnar does manage to get killed there. Defense Matrix just to cover for Reinhardt for the time being. Ice Wall goes up, but they've already lost so many. Kresnik manages to find at least one. Farah is looking extremely low, not going to be healed. Kresnik found another, and they are going to be able to hold on. The flashbang goes out. They do get the stun, but they won't find the kill that comes typically after that. Instead, they will be forced to back New York Institute of Technology, holding on to this first objective.
Yeah, while Dargo was going deep, trying to find Lion and get rid of the Farah that's been really just spamming them down. The rest of NYT just cleaned up SNHU's backline, and now they're moving in quick, taking over the point here.
Wow.
Lion is getting run down. Fragnar able to pick up that one, but now fighting for the point here.
Looking for an opportunity. If you ever wanted to know what it's like to get W keyed, that is a prime example right there. That's exactly why you got to make sure that you watch these streams, man. You get live examples and live rounds to the dome. If you aren't careful, Kresnik manages to find 2. Fragnar gets another. The ultimate is able to take care of the Lucio, but they were already able to contest on the objective. Mercy flies in, gets stunned, gets killed, and they get the cart for Southern New Hampshire University.
SNHU in a great position here, just staggering as much as they can, taking out the Baptiste. Not going to find the Reinhardt, but going to get themselves a lot of space on this cart. Kresnik with the Deadeye could potentially zone off a huge portion of their team while they continue to push up. SNHU are not in a bad situation anymore. They're looking at pretty good for this second point.
For the most part, right now, it seems like the cart is still rolling through. Kresnik has his high noon. He's holding on to it. And if anything, I would imagine he's going to wait for just a little bit longer. He is in a good enough spot, trying to see if he can shoot at the Hanzo. He does, but they now know that he's in the back line. He has to forfeit his position to see if he can at least take a more aggressive angle with his team. Backs out of the Hanzo ultimate, but runs back into it as well. They were being forced out. Such a good way to force them back into the ultimates. So much damage was being taken that they had no choice but to retreat. They might as well die together, if anything, so that way they don't get staggered out. Lucio and D.Va managed to escape with their lives.
NYT hitting back hard immediately. SNHU are going to need to make a big play here. They've got 6 ultimates on deck, ready to maybe try and get something to work here. NYT still building up a little bit, but one good Earth Shatter from NYT could, burn another minute and a half off the clock.
They're waiting for the time being. They have to bide their time for now. They know where they want to go. They're pushing around on the side. They have the Reinhardt ultimate as well. Shield goes up, but as soon as they rounded the corner, Pepto gets killed. Baptiste is the next one that falls, and Dargo gets knocked out of his mech. Heavy casualties on the side of Southern New Hampshire University. Kresnik, Dargo, all of them, they use the sound barrier, but at the wrong time. That's going to be an ultimate that's down for now, and they aren't really going to be able to do much after that. Fragnar staying on the objective, seeing what he can do, contesting for the time being, but he does get super staggered out, and now they have to wait for Lucio to come back.
NYT's composition here is so good at poking down SNHU from a distance, and that's exactly how they're playing. They're doing a great job at that. The Sigma is going to poke you down, the Pharah is going to poke you down, the Hanzo is going to poke you down, and the Baptiste is just going to keep chipping away at you every time you show yourself. This is a frustrating composition to go up against. You really have to just get on them as fast as possible, and SNHU have been finding some success doing that, but not enough to make it count. A big ultimate there.
Oh, nice. D.Va actually manages to use her ultimate and gets Roaring Iron in the process. The Immortal Field saves so many lives, and they get stunned off of the back of it. This might be the opportunity that Southern New Hampshire have needed. They use as much as they possibly can. The Mercy ultimate is going crazy right now. They're able to keep everyone alive despite a beautiful wall from Pepto right there, but they're at least able to make some leeway. They managed to get reincarnated even though he just got res, and now they have an opportunity to try and see if they can make the second checkpoint.
I can't believe only one went down there. Noob was healing his team like crazy.
Yeah, this is a huge step forward for Southern New Hampshire, though. Deadeye, High Noon does get popped. Immortal Field is there, but it seems like right now the Rocket Barrage goes crazy. They managed to get 3, and it forces Kresnik back. The rest of them remaining on the objective have to find some sort of way how they can play retake here. Has the Shatter from Reinhardt right now, and is able to at least get is at least able to get Pepto and Dargo. Not only does the mech fall, but so does Dargo himself. 1:40 still on the objective. They have about like a couple pushes left in them, if not only one more, with how long they have to wait for everyone to get into their proper positions.
We might have a pause here. It's maybe a tech issue, but this is, right now, the way that this game is playing is that NYT, for every kill that SNHU seemed to be getting, there's a player from NYT in just the right position with just the right ultimate to be able to take 3 or more. They've been playing in position and off of each other so well. SNHU maybe just a little bit not sure exactly how to adapt to the situation here.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I would want to keep in mind as well moving forward. It is going to be interesting to see how SNHU managed to sort of manipulate and maneuver their way into a potential W, but right now NYT are looking crazy. They've been playing off of each other so unbelievably well. They have been doing such a great and phenomenal job of making sure that they are keeping the pressure on. And I agree with you in its entirety. Having compositions that are able to poke on the way in, we've seen multiple times where people have tried to play retakes, multiple times on the side of SNHU where they have tried to make their way back to the cart, but they've been taken out before they even reach there. And that's an amazing adaptation, great drafting on the side of NYT.
Yeah, and so far SNHU, they've, maybe swapped a hero around or two, but they just haven't been able to break this defense that NYT have been able to set up. And maybe this pause give them a second to kind of think about it and just sort of reset that mental before this gets a little bit too out of hand for them.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you have to keep in mind. It's talked about not as much as I would like it to. Everyone loves to talk about the drafts, the everyone loves to talk about the drafts, the mechanical skill of the players, how well they're doing, how they're adapting to a lot of situations. But the biggest thing that I would ever have to say is the mentality. As someone that was a former competitor, I will absolutely gotta let you know that the mentality is something that you have to maintain strong, especially when you're going at this for hours, man. But right now, the game is back in. We have unpaused the game as they are making their way back to the objective. They have one more fight left in them, I would have to imagine. Unless they all die at the same time, they would have to find some sort of way to play this take here. Puts up the shield. Ryan holding for right now. They do have the ultimate. The Blizzard goes huge. They managed to catch out Roaring Iron. This might be what they've needed. SNHU manages to get one in the back line. It forces the rest of them back. They have to back up and peel to make sure they can deal with that D.Va. The ultimate goes through, but the ice block is even bigger. That's going to keep the cart rolling right on through. Will SNHU be able to convert this? They're able to contest for the time being, but Mercy is able to get a rest off. They kill so many. The checkerboard is looking all blue right now. The cart is rolling through, and we are getting a second checkpoint for SNHU. They've done a great job of making sure they adapt to that situation. Roaring Iron already low. The wall goes up. You know that shield is cracking. Each shot, that thing is going to break. Mercy makes it in time to heal Roaring Iron for the time being, and they do have to back off for right now.
That was such a fast take onto that point, and that's how SNHU win these fights. If the other team is winning off poking you down, you have to just get on them as fast as you can.
Right now, the Immortal Field does go out. They are trying to see if they can kill as many as they possibly can. They are getting stunned, things surrounding a multitude of different people, but Dargo at least manages to get one. Dargo makes his way back into the D.Va mech, but jumps off the side of the map, obviously, to make sure that he doesn't get staggered out. They need time right now is of the essence. A minute and 25 is all you got left to work with, and you're trying to see if you can take this to OT.
Especially with D.Va, I mean, you know, you get popped out of your mech, you essentially just have a longer respawn time than everyone else. So, very smart play there to reset yourself and just get your team composed again before you go back through. Pepto does have another Blizzard ready. Ballsy and Earthshatter as well. And there we see the Blizzard go out.
And they do actually manage to use the Blizzard. The wall, once again, kind of messes with Reinhardt on the enemy team very, very well. Roaring Iron reincarnated. Down Pepto with a wonderful headshot. The defense matrix. Who do you think you're shooting at, Farah? You're not going to be shooting at anybody. Tries to get the res up top. Batiste even wants a piece. You're going to have the healers get some of the action, too. They're rolling the cart right on through. Mercy is getting tagged. What an amazing play from SNHU right now. Reincarnated gets brought down. He's going to try and see if he can hold on for a little bit longer. They are getting the damage spread out, though. It's going to be hard when both of your tanks are taking the same amount of damage, using the defense matrix to keep Reaper back. They managed to get Roarington reincarnated. There's only 3 of them remaining. They managed to get Lion. He will go down. Baptiste gets killed as well, but so does the Doomfist. The D.Va bomb goes out and manages to kill 2. D.Va floods her way back onto the objective. Roaring Iron trying to see if he can contest. The Wrecking Ball is there, and Reinhardt just made his way back. Palsy is here. D.Va out of the mech, reincarnated, out of the game. D.Va killed and really destroyed right there. Southern New Hampshire University, they have made this a tie for 3-3. We're going to OT.
What a crazy comeback there off of that pause. That was exactly what they need. They were zen coming out of that pause. They took a second, aligned their chakras, get in there, and just blew them up. Amazing comeback there from SNHU, bringing this into another set here. Let's see if SNHU are going to need to try and get on here in less than a minute.
Yeah, right now they have their work cut out for them, man. I mean, I don't know how they're going to be able to do it, but they have to give it their all. They only have 1 minute. They effectively have 1 mid fight to win, if they can even manage to do that right. A minute, time is of the essence. If teammate goes down, you have to do everything you can to possibly stall that out. This is going to be intense, man. I mean, we're talking literally so much bank time for NYT, not enough for SNHU. And they're playing the Junkrat here. They are looking to break those shields.
They brought the Moira out as well, just to get just that much more poke damage going through with the orb. It's going to be interesting to see if they're able to stall them fast enough, because I feel like this composition the NYT have could just crumble if SNHU are able to get in fast.
Right now, it seems like SNHU are trying to do the best it is they can. They're trying to spread out as much damage as possible on the side of NYT, but SNHU are slowly making their way forward. The rockets, everything is going straight into the shield of Reinhardt, but they are able to get Kresnik on the back end of that. They're trying to see if they can at least stall things out for a little bit longer. They're spreading out damage, but not much is being found. The Mercy is healing and keeping everyone alive. Immortality field goes down. They are contesting on the objective right now. Fragnar also dies as well, and Palsy manages to get one. Diva forced out of the mech. Dargo is going to be running on foot for the time being. He is killed thanks to the Pharah. They have 20 seconds remaining. They can't lose the Reinhardt here. If they do, it might be curtains. Reinhardt has to find some sort of way in. The next opportunity is going to be the best. Pepto gets killed, and that might be a hard opportunity for them to try and see if they can play this retake. 10 seconds remaining. They're going to try and see what they can do. Diva is here. Reinhardt is here. They have to work with what they have, and he has to find some sort of way at least to see if he can make it onto the objective. He does. Immortality shield goes down. Will they be able to find one? They get Palsy. They get Pepto, and there's still so many that are still alive on the side. But Kresnik finds two. Wait a minute. They've got the Batiste ultimate jump right is extremely low, keeping him alive as best he can. They get rid of Roaring Iron. The res actually goes through, but it doesn't matter. SNHU are on the back foot right now. They are doing an amazing job at keeping NYT pressured. Dargo pops the ultimate right before he comes out of it, and Dargo manages to get two. Not only does he take care of Cringe, he takes care of Reincarnated off of the back of Kresnik. He found two and manages to force this into an overtime. They can capture this objective thanks to the wonderful play and teamwork by Southern New Hampshire University.
I cannot believe that just happened. SNHU pulled the rug out from NYT at just the last second here, but overtime is not over yet. SNHU need to deliver this all the way. 0 seconds on the clock. They're not getting any more time.
Right now, the cart is rolling through, like you mentioned, overtime. We're not done yet. Dargo at least is able to trade out the life of his support there. High Noon just shielding to see if he can find anything worthwhile. Not going to get there quite yet. They are able to take care of Kresnik. Fragnar manages to die as well as Palsy. The Riptire rips through and rips the game wide open, man. I mean, like, that is over for this round, but an amazing point capture on Southern New Hampshire University. Now they've got their work cut out for it. NYT, they've been doing a great job of making sure they've been locking down Kings Row. They've been looking good while doing it. You have to be cautious. 3 minutes. It's tower defense at this point. They didn't make it far off of the objective, so they have to find the best case scenario for them right now.
This is going to be a nail-biter of a match. If SNHU can hold on here, they have to hold for 3.5 minutes on point one there, and we've seen this point get taken in less than 10 seconds. Like, this is going to be so hard for SNHU to pull this off, but it is nowhere near impossible. NYT going to be looking to play a dive comp, bringing in the Winston as well to just try and get in there as fast as they can. They have 3.5 minutes, but they're not looking to waste a single second.
Right now, they have to hold on to this objective. There's not going to be not many mistakes afforded here, honestly. You really have to find your best opportunity, put your best foot forward, because right now, this is when it matters. Like I said before, 3 minutes, 38 seconds. You all can see it right there up on the clock, and you know how far SNHU was able to get. Can they hold here? That is the question. They force things out almost immediately. Mora throwing the early orb. Echo trying to see if she can contest the Pharah as best as she can. Right now, everything's going wide for the time being. Not much found except for damage. Trying to see if they can deal with the Pharah as well. Not going to find it quite there, but she is looking really low. Pepto manages to get one. They are at least able to stall things out on this first mid for the time being. They are able to res the Pharah, but even still, they take care of the mortality field on the side of NYT. Reincarnated is the next one that falls soon after that. Now, Kresnik, the rest of them have to find their way in, uses the flashbang to get the stun, and they are at least able to force Roaring Iron out for the time being, see if they can stop the Pharah. They both are keeping a pin on her. Pep and Kresnik take care of the Pharah. Now they got to deal with Roaring Iron. The shield is getting cracked time and time again. Palsy swings that hammer, cracks the dome, and now you got a 4-3. NYT still have plenty of time in the reserves to see if they can make this point capture happen.
The fact that SNHU held at this point, that's so important, because you can lose this point instantly. The fact that they can sit here, they can hold their ground, is so important for whether or not they'll be able to come out on top of this one.
They do make it onto the objective for now, but great play by Diva flanking around. They weren't aware of where she was at. They do take care of Kresnik, but they might actually be able to get two. They do. Batiste holding things off for the time being. They have the Shatter. They have their opportunities. The Immortal Field is out. The ultimates are coming through. Batiste manages to get 2. They're looking for the ultimate they're looking for the abilities from the Echo, trying to see if they can force them back. They at least are able to stall things out. Once again, 2 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes 38 is how we started. Now we're looking at 2 minutes.
Pepto's close to getting a duplication, which could be huge if he duplicates Palsy and gets that second Earth Shatter coming out.
Right now, things are looking really dire for NYT. They got to be careful how they play this. A one-time Cataclysm can be really good. Great sound barrier to try and see if they can stall things out for the time being. They're trying to see if they can move out and move away from the ultimates. They do trade things out, though, 1 for 1. This is still a good possibility. Pepto moves right on in, manages to capture and clone himself into the Reinhardt, tries to use the Shatter. They're trying to see if they can stall things out, but they are getting cleaned up for the time being. Will they be able to take care of Reinhardt? They won't. He does make it out with barely any HP remaining. Listen, SNHU has literally 1 more chance. They have to make it into position how they need to before they capture this point. They have to make it and find some sort of way back. They are going to be able to get it from NYT. They have to look for an opportunity here. They have to find a contest available on the side of SNHU.
This payload takes a second to actually finish its animation and come out and be active. It's starting to move now. Pepto going for the back line.
Right now, it seems like Pepto all the way in the back, but they killed so many people on the push. That might be the game for right now. Dargo is going to get taken down. Fragnar, same here. That's going to be NYT taking the second game. We're going to a game 3.
What a match that was. SNHU almost coming back from the jaws of defeat, but NYT, they hold fast. They make sure to take that one home. And I got to say, Lion especially played like crazy that game.
Yes, absolutely.
Looking at the first game and seeing him on the Reaper, I feel like he had a moment where he saw the Pepto on the Reaper, he saw on the Pharah, saw how that first game went, and he's like, oh, we're playing like that, huh? We're playing like that.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And he just went crazy.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy, man. I mean, like, that is... What a game. Like, we go from game 1, SNHU looking strong. Now NYT managed to clap back. We're looking at a 1-1 tie here. We're heading to a game 3. Shane, was there anything that stood out to you in that match that you have to feel like you need to mention? Anything from the analytical standpoint?
I mean, absolutely. NYT seemed to be playing, like, they're warmed up now, which means that this next map is going to be... So it's gonna be a real treat to watch, because now I feel like both teams are really starting to get fired up and actually play at their full potential here. So whatever comes out in this next map is going to be just the full everything going forward.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I would have to keep in mind, man. A wonderful opportunity afforded to SNHU, a wonderful opportunity afforded to NYT. This has been an amazing set. That is absolutely crazy to be able to see that happen. I am shocked. I am surprised. But most importantly, I am impressed. That has been an amazing game. What a second game to go out, honestly. And we will be heading into game 3 soon. I imagine that we'll see some of the same. Until then, we got to head right to a quick break. Welcome back in, everyone. Here we are. If you guys did not witness the amazing game that was Game 2, we're back at it with some more amazing games at Game 3. Fawn the Legend here with my good buddy Shane here to be able to cast this wonderfully on Volskaya Industries, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey,
This is a weird one. This is a weird one. We have not seen too much 2CP maps come out here on stream, so this is going to be a definite change of pace.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a very interesting map. You mentioned a change of pace. What do you feel like is the point that people need to take away here?
So with the way that this game mode generally works, the first point is going to be, a lot like how we saw in Kings Row. The first point is going to be a little bit harder to defend. So you might see those really fast takes onto the site, onto the hill, and be able to take it really fast, like we saw last game. But the second point is going to be, just the biggest uphill battle you have ever seen. They're gonna have to push onto the point, hold it right outside of the other spawn. These games can go for a while if they just get caught in a deadlock there, and it could be exactly what we see happen.
Here we are, Southern New Hampshire University versus NYT. We got to see some amazing matches here for sure. This is how things start off for now. Stalling things out for the time being, just a little bit. But right now, Wrecking Ball is going to make his way all the way over onto the objective. Rhino is already there. They have to peel back to see if they can deal with him. They are contesting on the objective while the rest of them are slowly funneling their way into this defense matrix, making sure that they can at least find some sort of way onto the objective. They are at least able to capture what they can. The Immortal Field goes down, but they knock them out of it. Baptiste is going to be the first one that goes down here. Pepto, a great job at making sure that he finds an opening kill. Rhino, once again, doing an amazing job making sure that he can set up for it. That's 2 kills already with the sleep going through on Reinhardt, Kresnik, Dargo. There's so many on the side of Southern New Hampshire University that are finding their kills. You mentioned how it might be hard to defend this first point, and that point was proven. It seems like they're going to be able to capture this first one in no time flat.
The game just started and we're already seeing the 5-player kill streak pop up. That's just kind of how these games go. But now that we get on to the second point here, this is, where NYT really have the chance to just put their boot in the ground and sit there and just hold for, the next 6 minutes. It's definitely not out of the question.
Right now, it seems like Soldier does drop his midfield just for the time being, throwing things up to see if they can stall out see if they can stall things out. A beautiful knock from the Rhino right now. Wrecking Ball doing a great job at setting things up. They are at least going to be able to get 2 in the back line here. Wrecking Ball is going to have to back out. Rhino still doing his best to see if he can hold on to things for the time being, as they have to play another retake on the side of Southern New Hampshire University.
We saw Mangon there for a quick second, actually switched over to Doomfist just for that, extra, potential when it comes to contesting, being able to knock people around and be able to get back to the point really fast. I think we're going to see NYT, that was a big pick there from Pepto.
Pepto manages to use the time bomb, ticks down, gets rid of Reincarnated. Looks like Ana is going to be the next one that falls. Lionel is also going to die here. Once again, the checkerboard's looking a bit yellow. Southern New Hampshire is going to be able to take over this objective for the time being. They've got themselves 1 pip. The Discord Orb is on the Diva. They take care of her next, and they're still funneling in one after the next. NYT trying their best to see if they can make their way onto the objective. 3-on-3 on the site, still contesting. Rhino finds another. Lionel finds one. Roaring Iron finds another. The kills are still checkerboarding back and forth, but the Transcendence is there. They knock Kresnik down. They take care of Zenyatta. They take care of Wrecking Ball. Once again, 2 pips on the field for Southern New Hampshire University. 4 minutes available. Swats Ana out of the way like a fly, and they will have to be able to see if they can make this retake work for them on the side of SNHU.
That's the contest power that comes out there, and now that they're down to their last tick there, maybe a fat finger there popped to the mech, but we're gonna see NYT swap their teams around, or swap their heroes around a little bit, bringing out the Orisa just to really fortify and hold on site as long as they can.
Seems like Pepto gets taken out for the time being. It's still okay. They've got 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining to them. On their side of the fence, Kresnik finding as much damage as he can to spread out. Almost kills one of them, but not going to find it there. Instead, he is at least going to be able to stall out their defense for the time being. Orisa manages to bring 2 of them together of social distancing here, going to be able to find at least some damage spread out in between the two frontliners right now on the side of Southern New Hampshire University. They are keeping things a little bit more spicy. Mango moves in and gets the kill on Zayada once again. They want to push on the offensive here. They may be playing defense, but sometimes the best defense is a good offense. They manage to pick off one. They get another. Rhino is done. Dargo has to retreat further back into their spawn, as do the rest of them. Defense Matrix just to peel things back for the time being, as they will now retreat on the side of NYT.
That's the NYT can really afford to play this aggressive because they spawn so close to the objective. It's not a huge deal if they get picked off outside if SNHU spawn, but now we're actually getting pushed back onto the site here. Let's see if NYT can hold their ground.
Seems like they're trying their best to. They do bring the Tracer down really low on the side of NYT. They pop a multitude of different ultimates and still try to see what they can find. They aren't able to make it onto the objective yet, but they are at least able to say they've gotten a couple of low health bars on the side of NYT. D.Va might be stuck in a hard place to try to see if she can move in. Pops the ultimate just to see if she can keep people off of her back. They do take care of Rhino, and they are still trying to find their way in and onto the objective. They've got 2 minutes left, so they still have plenty of time on the side of Snoop.
Just right now, this is a war of attrition at the moment. This is what it kind of devolves to after a little bit, just trying to poke down each other. Whoever can get the first, big poke kill really sets the momentum for the next, 20 to 30 seconds. So if Snoop are able to find that, they could try and, force a push onto the point, but it's going to be tough.
Seems like right now they are still biding their time. They have the transcendence and everything that they need. They pop it just to get some stuff going for them, but they don't know. Pepto's in the back. Will he be able to find one? He is able to spread the damage out onto the Lion. Winston tries to see if they can follow through, but Pepto goes down. Cringe falls suit soon after that. Rhino is done. Dargo is out of the mech and out of the game for the time being. Got to be sent back to playing Gray Screen Simulator for right now, as there is a minute and 20 seconds still available to them.
Yeah, NYT have done a great job at just burning down time for as long as possible, but SNHU have been poking at them. They've been getting ult charge, and they're about to have some really good ultimates come up to help them get on the point here. The Primal Rage and the D.Va Bomb together could really do some damage.
Right now, 91% on the ultimate for Reincarnated. He will be able to get that almost instantly. They burned out so much time. A good sleep. Pepto in another good spot once again. It is dependent upon this pick how the next fight will go. He's just biding his time. He's looking for an angle to strike at. Palinks in twice, throws out the pulse bomb, not able to find much, but Kresnik's in a good spot as well. They use the D.Va Bomb, see what they can find. Fragnar manages to get one, but pops the aim bot. What will they be able to do? It seems like they're able to get plenty of kills on the side of Southern New Hampshire University. They flood in, they get rid of Zenyatta, but there's not many remaining. They pop the Nano as well into the Winston. He's tearing people up in the back line. What will they be able to do here? It seems like the rest of them are sort of trying to funnel onto site, but they've died for the most part. Reaper comes through, see if they can do anything about it, but it's not gonna be enough. The last minute swap to Reaper was not good enough for NYT to hold that on. They do manage to make this 2-0 the side of Southern New Hampshire University, but they only have 10 seconds to work with.
NYT did a great job of burning down the clock. We're gonna see, can NYT bring it all the way back in, bring it to point 2, get that second cap? Because if they do, I mean, we could be here for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. That is for certain. They are trying to slowly make their way over to the objective here. Southern New Hampshire, they like, if this does go to overtime, they have to hold on. Like, there's no way. I don't even know if you have 10 seconds in between when. Okay.
It's going to be hard to get on the point in 10 seconds.
Right, exactly. Like, that's the point I'm making, okay? So, all right, everybody, chat, spectators, everyone watching, count how many seconds it takes for Southern New Hampshire to make it onto the site to see if they can stop, and for NYT, to make it onto the site against Southern New Hampshire University. And then we'll find out if that's actually going to be enough time for Southern New Hampshire if this goes to OT.
We're seeing a very different composition come out from SNHU holding here. This is a dive comp on defense, which is very different from the brawl comp we saw NYT playing. They're playing their, the Reinhardt again. That's very much, a comfort pick for them, and when it works, it really, really does work.
Here we go. The match is started. That's 2 seconds already burnt on the clock for NYT. 5 seconds still remaining before they can make it there, and they're not even on site. That is 10 seconds. Yeah, they have to defend this as best as they
It'll
possibly can.
It'll be a little close. It'll be a little close.
Yes, they have to make their way onto the objective as quickly as they can. On the side of NYT, they are forcing things out on the opposing high ground, though. This is a very interesting play, not something that we saw before, but Mercy is going to be the first one that falls here. Reinhardt goes for the pin, doesn't quite find it there. Instead, he just finds a bunch of bullets loaded into his back, and he is going to have to retreat. The rest of NYT are going to either be staggered out or have already retreated back to their spawn.
And actually able to catch out Lion there. A big flank, going to send a lot of NYT back to their spawn, while you know, some players out here still getting a little bit staggered if they end up going down.
For the time being, it seems like things are going to be a little bit more dangerous for them. Because once again, 3 minutes still remaining on the clock for NYT. It is going to be extremely difficult for them to make it back onto the objective, especially since their first initial, very unique play did not seem to work out for them. They want to push on the right side here, and Pepto is keeping an eye out. Kresnik obviously playing in the back line, seeing what he can find from right here in this spot, is able to at least tag the Pharah for the time being. They are looking for better opportunities for themselves. Not quite going to be able to find it. Rhino gets stunned, melted, but not dead. Kresnik is going to be able to find one. That is going to be the Pharah down, but she gets rezzed right back up. Same thing for Pepto. He gets taken out, but no res this time. It's not looking as kind to Southern New Hampshire University right now. They have to find a way out for the time being. Defense matrix going up, seeing if they can stall things out just for the moment. They are going to have to back up here. Pharah is keeping the pressure on, but Dargo decides to go in for the contest. He is at least able to contest it for a time being, but he's not dead. He has 9 HP. He gets killed towards the tail end of that, and they are going to be able to capture this objective. They're contesting for the time being, but I can't imagine it goes much longer than this. That is going to be the point afforded to NYT.
SNHU did a great job holding that first point for as long as they could. You know, looking back at the first round there, SNHU certainly took that point, you know, blindingly fast. So just getting those precious seconds off the clock while you can on defense is so huge for actually defending this final point.
Trying to see if they can move in as well. Rhino is brought down low, but they do take care of Mango on the side of NYT. Pharah is put in the dirt for right now. Obviously, you have at least 3 ultimates still remaining on the side of Southern New Hampshire. You've got a plethora of different ones on NYT side, and still plenty building on both teams. Really close to actually coming through here. Pepto blinks all the way into the back. Reinhardt, not aware that he's back there, tries to use the rewind, doesn't find it quite yet, but the minefield catches 2. A very well-timed and well-placed minefield catches 2 bodies on the side of NYT. Southern New Hampshire University are going to at least be able to hold things from main. Still doing what they can, rolling in and out. Rhino is searching for a better opportunity to see if he can stall, but he is raring to go in. Plenty of abilities in the back pocket.
Yeah, SNHU, I mean, NYT are definitely building up ultimates a bit faster than SNHU. You're popping the Valkyrie as well. Could see a few more come out, but Kresnik popping the visor trying to deal with this Pharah.
And see what he can do, and we all love to make fun of whatever, we all love to make fun of the ultimates that miss or whiff a zoning ultimate, but literally that's what that was. It was to make sure nobody else can get onto the objective or the site, but it seems like it's not going to be able to stall things out long enough. Rocket Barrage on Kresnik means that he's brought down to no HP. He is killed, sent back to spawn. Dargo is looking like he will meet much of the same fate to Mango, and he does. Now Rhino, how much longer will he be able to hold out? They use the Mora ultimate, seeing if they can clear out sight as best they can, and they do. Pepto on the site doing what he can. Transcendence was popped just to keep him alive, just to stall things out for the time being. Pepto still alive in the back, sees that there's a Discord orb on Lion, but he's not going to be able to find it quite yet. Kresnik swaps to the Reaper, but they take care of 3 almost at the same time. The Diva Bomb goes out and keeps things alive for the time being. Rhino still has the opportunity. They have not even managed 1 pip on the side of NYT yet. Spinning around, you can hear the bowling pins falling over. They're knocking straight through. Wrecking Ball is immediately going to knock so many people off of the site. He's able to stall and build the minefield back up. What more do they have in store? The minefield is going to be an early Christmas present to NYT. Mercy has to find some sort of way in, but a good time to rewind is Pepto is going to still be killed despite all of that. The Diva Bomb is going to be enough, and as the smoke clears, the bullets are back in the clip, we can finally see through the fog, and it will be another stall from Southern New Hampshire University.
That was a full hold. They did not lose a pip on that bar. They held it entirely, and now NYT only have 2 minutes left on the clock to take this entire point.
Right now, They don't have much time before them. You are right, Shane. The ball coming through, immediately knocking so many people off, just stalling for the time being. That's all that he really has to do. He is holding that right mouse button. This is the gameplay we love to see. He gets stunned and punched back into the wall. Rhino has to retreat for right now, as the Reinhardt on the opposing side is getting brought pretty low. Their ultimates are coming back up, and really, really soon at that. They're using the defense matrix, seeing if they can stall things out for the time being. Mango made his way into the back line despite the Discord orb. They have to find a kill on him. They do. The Reaper, the Death Blossom, Kresnik! Did you know it's not winter, it's spring, because flowers are blooming? That's going to be 5 potential members for Kresnik. They're going to stall
Look at the
out
stagger.
with the Diva as well. Look at the stagger. Wave at him, Kresnik. Tell him about himself. Tell that man about himself. Puts on the defense matrix. Reincarnated is going to go down. What an amazing stagger and a beautiful Death Blossom from Southern New Hampshire University.
We have seen more Reaper tonight than we have all season, and I gotta say, I love it. I love this. Whenever you see this character come out and actually do work, it's a sight to behold.
Absolutely amazing. 40 seconds on the clock for right now. NYT. They got to find a way, and this is a best of 5. This is only game 3. Like this is so amazing to be able to witness that. They have a minefield as well, knocking them back, seeing if they can dive in on the Batiste. He gets stunned. He has his ability still, but gets picked off early. But thankfully, Mango meets the same fate. Roaring Iron, he's next. Puts the monkey back in the cage, and the Diva Bomb gets dropped just to clear out sight for the time being. Diva Bomb, hey, I'll return the same thing to you. It's called returning the favor. They lose 2 on the side of Southern New Hampshire University, but Pepto manages to get one with the time bomb as well. Knocks him right on up, and that's going to be 2 kills for Pepto. Rhino and Pepto, a well-oiled machine. The 2 of them in duo have been working together on a multitude of different maps to make their team the space that they can afford. They've been doing a great job at setting each other up and knocking them right on down. NYT lose this game, and that's another point to Southern New Hampshire.
What a hold there from SNHU. They were not even going to gamble on the 10 seconds left on their timer. They were just taking it all the way. And of course Kresnik got play of the game.
No, of course he did. What more can you say, man? What more can you say? What a well-timed from Kresnik, man. I mean, you can't ask for a better situation. You literally can't ask for a better situation. You just literally just wondering what could go wrong, what can they do, how do SNHU hold on here, and they answer the question with a Death Blossom. What a wonderful play. Man, oh man, this is a best of 5, folks. This is only the 2nd win for Southern New Hampshire University. There's still plenty more Overwatch to go. Still got to keep all of that in mind, folks. What an amazing, amazing game that we just witnessed, Shane.
I mean, that's 2 CP. It's as close to deathmatch as you get in Overwatch. Yeah. And, you know, the team deathmatch, like, it's just all comes down to who can get the poke kills, who's able to really get on site and just beat the crap out of each other until someone comes out on top. And that is just pure fighting right there. And, you know, SNHU were able to come out on top. They've been, you know, I feel like they really thrive in these team fights where they're able, you know, for extended periods of time to just play off of each other, play off their abilities, and just understand their synergies, how they work together. It's just beautiful play on that defense and the offense.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, what an amazing time. Like, once again, like, great stall. And I had mentioned it before. I really do think Rhino and Pepto are an amazing duo. They've been doing an amazing job at making sure that they've been holding on to their team, doing what they can. What an amazing opportunity for Southern New Hampshire University, man. We're going to throw it right to a quick break, and when we come back, be in game 4. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back in to the Southern New Hampshire University versus New York Institute of Technology. I am Fawn the Muted here, as I just realized that my microphone was muted the entire time, but hey, we are here. Don't even worry about that. We are back into it on this lovely map, and we see the Ashe actually locked in here as well. Very interesting. Tell me what you think about her on this map. What are we expecting here?
We've seen Kresnik play Ashe a little bit here, and I think that, going up against, you're almost certainly going to run into a heavy dive comp or a double bubble composition here while you're playing defense, because this high ground is so important. And Ashe is really able to just control that range as well as just blow up anyone that comes down up onto the high ground there. As well, the ultimate's just great for dispersing people, so it makes it really easy to hold the high ground and to also exploit it while you have her.
For the time being, right now, so they're at least able to reload a couple bullets back into the clip. Rhino, moving turret on the Orisa, is at least going to keep the pressure on the site for the time being. They jump right on in. Winston slam dunks his way into the opposing high ground. They are going to scatter, but they aren't going to be taken out yet. It seems like they are at least able to hold on for the time being to this objective, to the high ground. It is going to be a little bit more difficult, as there is not many people remaining here on the side of New York Institute of Technology. Winston dunks his way back on into the objective, or at least into the back line once again, but this time he's not so lucky. He's not so lucky. Put the monkey back in the cage and lock the key. What a beautiful conversions right there. Manages to knock them all back together. Gets a little bit of damage, but definitive kills here.
Now NYT, they've got control of the high ground here, and SNHU have to play back into these markets. It's going to be a little bit tougher for them to hold off NYT while they're down on the low ground, but that doesn't stop Pepto from just flying up in the sky and raining down. But there is a Winston idiot a little out of position. They're all crowding around him and take him out. That's a nice 3-kill there from SNHU.
Pepto already available for 2 different kills, and Baptiste was at least able to get one. So on the Baptiste has been doing a great job. Kresnik still holding at least a little bit more of an aggressive angle, seeing if he can catch anyone, making their way back onto the objective for now. Let's see if that's going to be the case. Uses the dynamite, tries to see if they can check around the corner. No one's there, but they do decide to move in a little bit later. They know something fishy is up. Echoes comes around the corner, manages to kill Lion as well. Hey, Mercy, I gotta be real with you. You gotta find some sort of way out. She manages to ult, seeing if she can engage with the Echo for the time being. Moves on in thanks to her teammates, but isn't going to quite be able to find anything yet. Instead, they do manage to get Kresnik. They at least are able to find Mango, avenge their fallen Conrad. Mango gets rezzed and now reincarnated as the next one that takes place on the objective. They are at least able to take care of Sven. And then we have a couple more after that. Mango also is the one that's going to be taken down for now. They are looking for plenty of different opportunities to attack this objective from, but it doesn't look like that opportunity was the right one for them. NYT are stalled out once again.
They are stalled out, but right now they've got a pretty good ultimate combo on deck with the Graviton Surge and the Barrage. If those come out together, could see some damage come out, but I feel like Pepto is just on the watch for this Pharah.
So be careful of the Shatter here. Almost gets taken out the Immortal Field just to keep him alive. They do need that Shatter. Have to find some sort of way to build it up. 61%, but it's not looking like it's not going to be the best case scenario for him. Going to get out of that clone possibility right there. Finding shots where necessary. Kresnik trying to keep the pressure on him. They use the Graviton Surge. Still not going to be able to find much out of that black hole, but Krez with a headshot trying to escape. Mercy, not the proper angle to be taken against Kresnik. He takes the head off and Mercy for the time being. D.Va is going to push in and manages to get reincarnated too, which is actually a pretty big stagger for them.
They are another great hold there, and Kresnik really able to just make full use of his character to take these super long-range fights here. And a lot of SNHU, I mean, they have a lot of damage that they can put out, and Pepto on Echo is able to just, you know, once someone gets below 50% health, just able to melt them down so fast. It's basically a guaranteed kill, but NYT are coming on strong right now.
Are at least going to be able to keep the pressure on them for the time being. Pepto manages to get one. Lion is going to be the kill here, as the rest of them are looking a little bit dire. Their health bars are low. They pop the nano as well. Sven trying to keep the pressure on. There's not going to be much available or afforded to Southern New Hampshire University for the time being. Echo is here to try and stall things out. She will be able to get her ultimate to be able to copy for the time being. She's able to stall. That's a huge opportunity for Southern New Hampshire University. They have the shatter as well. I don't know if they were able to find any. It seems like it was just sort of utilized as a way to stall things out a little bit longer. A great stall from Pepto right there on the site. They're able to get Mango. They force Dargo out of his mech, and the fight is still going strong. Cringe is taking out Lucio down. That's one of their healers. Who will be the next one to fall? Dargo died a little bit before that, but they are going to still hold on the side of NYT. They were trying to see if they could fight as best as they could, but the nano gets utilized. Reincarnated, forced out of the mech, gets blown up is the Ana. Same thing for Lion. He is taken out on the McCree, and so is follows suit soon after that. The kills are checkerboarding, but SNHU are the ones with the triple diva bomb are going to take this to the next round. Not a single point capture afforded to NYT.
SNHU here, if they can get their cart up to the point, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like in its entirety, they get one capture, and we're not looking at going to a game 5 here. We end this at game 4 if you are on the team of Southern New Hampshire University.
NYT, they got to play really safe here. They need to figure out something that just is able to work. You know, go back to what's been working against SNHU, right. Because there's something's changed, and they're kind of feels like they're almost going astray a little bit. They need to just go back to what was working before, but this is going to be a very, very dangerous round here.
As for the time being, how will NYT respond to the proper pressure afforded to them by SNHU? Still going for a majority of the time the same composition. A couple of changes here and there on the side of Southern New Hampshire University. Is there anything that stands out to you here, Shay?
At the moment, I'm looking at NYT's Doomfist. I'm a little bit interested by this and see how that exactly works here on defense. Maybe looking to kind of play anti-dive and knock someone off of the high ground here. But SNHU pretty much just going with what has been working and electing to go for a dive comp here instead of the Reinhardt like last time. I think they're in pretty solid shape here for it. Oh, what a kill!
Oh, that is absolutely insane for Rhino to be able to get that literally out of the gate. The doors opened, and it was already a bad time for Rhino. Well, it was already a bad time for the McCree, Lion on the side of NYT. He is going to be taken out of this one. They're trying to see if they can keep the pressure on the Winston. Still a couple of members playing high ground. The Immortality Field just to hold their positions for now. They do break the Immortality Field. This is their go button. They got rid of their only way of defense here. Those who haven't retreated are going to be treated to a harsh reality. They throw out the stickies just for a time being, and they're not going to be able to get any kills there. The grenade from Ana is at least able to keep them alive, but Doomfist can't last much longer. Shield goes down the side of the Doomfist. What will they be able to find here? They're still keeping the pressure on them. Stuck is Lion. Pepto moved in. Immortal Field is still down. They pop the Baptiste ultimate. There's still nothing. Kresnik finds another. What more will he be able to get? He forces them out of the mech. Still looking for a better opportunity. Diva is low and is out of the game. SNHU are looking like your winners for this set. How will they be able to respond on the side of NYT? Mango pushed out a little bit too far, and that is going to be your game. That's the baby. SNHU this 3-1 over NYT.
What a great game there from SNHU to wrap it up, continuing to play in just the dominant fashion that they've been playing this entire time, and the crowd is going crazy right now. NYT are able to take a game, but it just wasn't enough for SNHU to find their rhythm and just hit those beats until they came out on top.
That is an amazing game that we just saw. What an overall powerful set and display of skill that we've seen. There's the player cams right there. My goodness, man. What an amazing team.
Look at the
Great
hugs
job
coming out. The
against
hugs
them. The
coming
hugs
out.
coming out. Absolutely amazing. NYIT, they did the very best it was they possibly could. They definitely didn't deserve to be slept on at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. They brought their A game here. And my goodness, what a way to end the day. Absolutely amazing. Shane, you gotta let me know any final thoughts, fam.
I I just gotta say, these guys they were feeling a bit. They were feeling the pressure. You know, last night
Mm,
we had the Valorant champions in here. You know, SNHU
mm.
took that title, and I know before this they were kind of like, well, we don't want to be the guys who lose on stream. So
Right.
they were really
Mm.
determined to come out on top here, and I mean, just all the hard work they've been putting in again is paid off so well. They just played. That's the most cohesive and
Mhm.
synergistic that I've seen them play all year. It really came out for them.
Absolutely. What a wonderful time, Shane. It has been an honor, my man. Thank you so much for having me here,
Absolutely.
Snoo, as well. It has been a great time. I hope all of you at home have been watching accordingly. Thank you so much for everyone tuning into this esports stream. I have been Follow the Legend. You can follow me at Follow the Legend on Twitter. Don't follow my Twitch. I have not streamed in a very long time. You will not find me there. Make sure that you follow me on my Twitter. Shane, it has been an honor, my friend. Everyone at SNU, congratulations to the winners as well. We will see you next time. Peace out.